I'm going to be brutally honest with you right now. What I'm about to share isn't the kind of thing your father told you before bed. It's not what your teachers drilled into you in school. It's not what society wants you to know. In fact, most men will go to their graves completely blind to this. And that's exactly how the system wants it. Because once you hear what I'm about to tell you, you can't unhear it. It is the kind of knowledge that splits your life into two parts: the time before you knew it and the time after. 500 years ago, a man named Machiavelli put into words the most dangerous truths about human nature ever recorded. So dangerous that the church tried to bury them. So powerful that rulers studied them in private while condemning them in public. Why? Because Machiavelli didn't write theory. He wrote the operating manual for human beings. Not how we pretend to work, not how we wish we worked, but how we actually work. And here is the part that should terrify you. The people who already know these truths are using them against you every single day in boardrooms, in relationships, in politics, in war. They're playing chess while you're still playing checkers. So ask yourself, why didn't your father teach you this? Why didn't your teachers? The answer is simple. Because their fathers didn't teach them. And because society programs you to believe that seeing reality makes you cynical, that strategy makes you manipulative, that understanding power makes you evil. But ignorance isn't virtue. Ignorance is weakness. Starting right now, I intend to make you strong. I intend to make you dangerous. Once you see these truths, you will never see human interaction the same way again. So before we go any further, like the video, subscribe, turn on notifications, because what comes next will change how you move forever, and you do not want to miss it. You've been told your whole life that humans are rational, that we weigh options, calculate outcomes, and make decisions based on logic and reason. That's a lie, and it's one of the most dangerous lies you've ever been fed. Machiavelli knew the truth. He wrote, "Men judge generally more by the eye than by the hand, for everyone can see and few can feel." Translation: people make choices based on appearances, on illusions, on what looks right, not what is right. Most people don't want the truth. They want comfort. Think about it. The friend who begs you for advice about his failing relationship but ignores you because the truth would hurt. The coworker who complains he's broke then throws away money on a ritual that makes him feel good. The person who swears they want stability but keep chasing chaos because chaos gives them a hit of status, drama, or attention. Logic dies the moment it collides with desire. Reason evaporates when faced with fear, lust, status, or comfort. You've been told to persuade with facts, to win arguments with evidence, to show people the rational path. But facts don't move people. Feelings do. The man who masters feelings, who knows how to bypass logic and speak straight to emotion, controls every room he enters. That man doesn't waste time trying to prove he's right. He makes people feel he's right, and that is infinitely more powerful. Think about the greatest manipulators in history. They didn't rise to power with spreadsheets and statistics. They rose with images and stories that inflamed anger, fear, and hope. Corporations don't make billions by printing chemical formulas. They sell you belonging in a bottle. Movements don't spread by winning philosophy debates. They spread by capturing the heart, the soul, the dread of loss, and the promise of paradise. This is why you lose arguments. This is why your advice is ignored. This is why the people you want to influence keep slipping through your fingers, because you thought people were rational. They're not. They're addicts chasing feelings. So here's your first dark lesson. Stop trying to change minds with facts. Start shaping emotions. Want someone to follow you? Don't lecture them about what's good for them. Show them what makes them feel good about themselves. Want to influence a partner? Don't argue about logic. Make them experience the pain of losing you or the joy of pleasing you. Want to dominate in business? Data matters, but narrative rules. Craft a story that makes your audience, believe you are the inevitable winner. The man who argues with facts is a schoolteacher. The man who manipulates feelings is a king. There are only two kinds of men in this world: predators and prey. Strip away the polite masks, the politics, the morality, and you're left with the oldest law of nature. The strong take, the weak are taken from. Here's the hidden cruelty. Weakness doesn't just fail to protect you. It attracts predators like blood in the water. Why do bullies single out the quiet kid, not the fighter? Why do corporations cut the weakest employees first? Why do lovers abandon the man who bends and cling to the man who stands firm? Because predators always choose the easy meal. Machiavelli knew this. He wrote, "It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both." Not because fear is noble, but because fear keeps the wolves away. Love without strength invites betrayal. Fear without love commands survival. Weakness doesn't just destroy you. It corrupts everyone around you, because a weak man forces others to carry him, drains the strong until they either cut him loose or collapse with him. Society tells you to be harmless, to soften yourself, to embrace your weakness. They call it sensitivity. They call it being a better man. But the man who cannot defend himself, his family, or his reputation is not a good man. He's a liability. Strength is not optional. It is the price of survival. Be nice. Be agreeable. Don't make waves. This is the script you were handed. They lied. Machiavelli saw it centuries ago. Men are so simple and so much inclined to obey immediate needs that a deceiver will never lack victims for his deceptions. People confuse weakness for goodness. They confuse obedience for virtue. They confuse being nice with being valuable. That's why people say they want nice guys, but follow men who break rules. That's why companies praise the team player while promoting the ruthless strategist. Nice is not the same as good. Nice avoids conflict because it's afraid. Nice says what people want to hear in exchange for approval. Good is different. Good has hard conversations. Good says what must be said, even when it costs applause. Good stands on principle, even if it draws hate. Nice guys chase approval. Good men earn respect. Kindness with strength is magnetic. Niceness with weakness is poison. You were told that loyalty is everything. Be loyal to your friends. Be loyal to your company. Be loyal to your woman. Machiavelli saw the world for what it is, not what it pretends to be. Love and fear can hardly exist together. If you must choose, it is safer to be feared. Love is fragile. Love is conditional. Love persists only while it benefits the giver. The friend who only calls when he needs something. The company that preaches, "We're a family," until the next round of layoffs. The partner who keeps options open while demanding your commitment. This isn't loyalty. It's exploitation framed as loyalty. Loyalty without reciprocity isn't noble. It's weakness. A man who keeps giving loyalty to people who don't return it isn't virtuous. He's a fool. The powerful are strategically loyal. Loyalty is a contract. The moment the contract is broken, all bets are off. Be generous with loyalty, but be ruthless about withdrawing it. Test people. Watch how they behave when there's nothing in it for them. Notice who shows up in your storms, not just your sunshine. Never keep giving to those who bleed you dry. A man without reputation is already dead. He just doesn't know it yet. Machiavelli wrote, "Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are. It doesn't matter who you are. It matters who they think you are." Most men think authenticity means showing everything about themselves. They overshare. They expose their fears, their weaknesses, their doubts. They cry about being misunderstood and wonder why no one respects them. The world doesn't reward the raw you. The world rewards the strategic you. Reputation is armor. It is the sword that cuts through lies and the shadow that enters a room before you do. With a strong reputation, enemies hesitate. With a weak reputation, Even friends doubt you. Control perception, or someone else will control it for you. Want to be seen as competent? Present solutions instead of complaints. Want to be seen as valuable? Don't always be available. Scarcity creates worth. Want to be seen as powerful? Stop explaining decisions to people who don't carry your burdens. Reveal only what serves the goal. Guard your name more fiercely than your money. Most men believe peace is normal and war is an exception. Machiavelli knew the opposite. There is no avoiding war. It can only be postponed to the advantage of others. Conflict is not something that might happen. Conflict is something that's always happening, in silence, in whispers, in shadows. The question is whether you're ready or whether you'll be devoured when it arrives. Think of your life like a battlefield. In your career, someone is always watching your position, waiting for you to stumble so they can replace you. In your relationships, someone is always willing to take your place if you grow weak. In your social circle, someone is always testing your boundaries. The successful aren't surprised by conflict. They expect it. They train for it. They prepare during peace so they don't bleed during war. Be both the fox and the lion. The fox to recognize traps, the lion to frighten wolves. Don't start wars, but be prepared to finish every single one. The man who is visibly prepared for war rarely has to fight at all, because predators sense strength and choose easier prey. People like to imagine that honesty rules the world, that truth rises to the top, that integrity always wins. That's the fairy tale. Reality is harsher. Deception has built kingdoms, toppled empires, and carved the path of history more than honesty ever has. A prince never lacks legitimate reasons to break his promises, Machiavelli wrote. He didn't say only the wicked betray. He said leaders will, when necessary, because deception is not corruption. Deception is survival. The fox pretends weakness to lure prey. The snake hides until it strikes. Humans are no different. Politicians sell dreams they never intend to deliver. Corporations drape poison in campaigns about family and freedom. Even in your home, people promise forever and mean it only until it costs them. If you refuse to deceive, you will still be deceived. Controlled deception is the art. Wear masks, hide knives, reveal just enough to keep others blind to your intentions. Tell the truth when it strengthens you. Lie when it protects you. Break promises when keeping them would destroy you. The honest man who refuses strategy is not noble. He's prey. You've been told morality is absolute, that the righteous are rewarded and the wicked are punished. Machiavelli understood what most men never will. Morality is not truth. Morality is control. Who defines good? The powerful. When rulers want obedience, they call submission a virtue. When leaders want sacrifice, they baptize it with the word honor. When elites want control, they redefine evil as anything that threatens their authority. The masses swallow it because believing in morality feels safe, but history disagrees. Power structures burn men alive in the name of virtue. Nations justified conquest in the language of righteousness. Modern states bomb cities and call it freedom. The powerful almost never obey the morality they preach. They don't have to, they wrote it for you. Machiavelli's lesson. Appear moral when it serves you. Abandon the costume when survival demands it. Never become a prisoner of someone else's moral code. Every empire, every company, every family, every relationship runs on the same hidden economy: fear and reward. Men are not moved by abstract ideals, but by immediate sensations, the fear of pain and the hunger for pleasure. Strip away the decorations of morality, religion, and politics, and you'll find the same machinery underneath. Kings keep their crowns because people fear their wrath more than they hate their rule. Corporations keep employees in line with the carrot of promotion and the stick of unemployment. Parents shape children with consequences and praise. The art is in the balance. Too much reward breeds entitlement. Too much fear breeds revolt. The leader who alternates, who withholds to create hunger and gives at the peak of desire, creates loyalty stronger than chains. Ask 2 questions of anyone you need to move. What do they fear losing most? What do they crave most desperately? Then become the one who controls both. People speak of trust as if it were stone, unshakable, permanent, sacred. Trust is not stone. Trust is glass. It shines, it reflects, and when it cracks, it shatters. Trust is temporary. It exists only as long as it benefits both sides. A friend's trust can vanish the moment you stop serving his needs. Your trust in a leader can collapse after one betrayal, no matter how many good deeds came before. The weak beg for trust. The strong manufacture it. Con artists survive not because they are trustworthy, but because they look trustworthy. Politicians don't need pure trust. They need enough to get the vote. Seducers don't need unconditional trust. They need enough to lower defenses. Use trust, shape it, exploit it, but never rest your survival on it. The man who builds his life on trust builds on glass. Frames and boundaries decide who bleeds and who feeds. Weak men negotiate their worth after the hook is in. Strong men set the frame before the first word is spoken. Your frame is the invisible contract you project. What you tolerate, what you refuse, what you expect, and what you will enforce without apology. If you don't declare a price, the world will name a discount. If you don't draw a line, the world will drag you past it. Boundaries are not requests. They are consequences waiting to happen. Speak in terms of outcomes and enforcement, not wishes and hopes. Standards are magnetic to the right people and repellent to the wrong ones. That's the point. You are not here to be universally liked. You are here to be effective. Silence is not the absence of power. Silence is power under control. The loud man explains, defends, and fills the air with nervous sound. The dangerous man lets silence do the work. Silence makes people project, confess, and reveal. Silence turns scarcity into mystique. In negotiation, the first to speak loses because he auctions himself. In conflict, the first to panic bleeds because he shows where it hurts. Practice strategic quiet. Let others fill the void with information you can use. Guard your words like currency and spend them only when the rate is favorable. Allies multiply strength. Parasites multiply risk. Choose allies by their incentives, not their compliments. Praise is cheap. Costs are truth. Who has bled for you? Who refused bait to betray you? Who delivered when there was no applause and no profit? Water those roots. Keep enemies in the open by refusing to feed them with outrage. Outrage is the rope they use to pull you into their frame. Smile. Decline the script. Move your pieces where they cannot reach, and let their need for attention starve them into mistakes. Power is not an event. Power is maintenance. You cannot binge your way into dominance. You must become a man of systems. Build the body that can endure pressure. Build the bank that can bridge drought. Build the mind that can sit with discomfort without self-sabotage. Your daily code should be simple and unavoidable. Move iron, move money, move information, move people. Move iron train with seriousness. Not for vanity, but for violence resisted and violence prevented. Move money, save a percentage before you see it. Invest with rules, never chase heat. Move information, read deeply, take notes, refine models, compress insight into decision checklists. Move people, clarify vision, assign roles, enforce deadlines, reward execution. Keep the code, keep the crown. 3 case studies will make this inescapable. Work, relationship, street. Work first. You sit in a Monday meeting with a good idea and a soft voice. You present facts. You ask for feedback. A louder colleague reframes your idea as risky, then restates it later as his own with swagger and a deadline. He gets the budget. You get the follow-up task. Why? Not merit. Frame. He set urgency, risk, and ownership. He used silence to force the room to react to him. He spoke last, not first, so he could box the choice. Fix it. Enter with a one-line thesis, a cost if ignored, and a date of execution. Say, here is the plan. If we move now, we capture X. If we wait, we bleed. Y, I will deliver V1 by Friday. Questions after. Then be quiet and let the room feel the clock. That is not arrogance. That is stewardship under fire. Relationship. You text good morning 7 days in a row. You over-explain, overshare, and overpromise. Her replies get shorter. You chase harder. Attraction dies because you made approval your god. Fix it. Replace apology with standards. Replace access with earned access. Replace monologue with invitation. Say, I like where this goes when we both show up. I do not do slow fade. If you want this, let's plan Thursday, 7 p.m. at the place with the red door. If not, all good. Then step back and live. Scarcity creates respect because it proves you belong to a mission, not a leash. Street. A stranger bumps your shoulder and waits for a spark. He wants your outrage to hand him the script. You puff up and perform. Now you are in his movie. Fix it. Face relaxed. Voice low. Feet set, say, watch your space. Then turn your body 45 degrees so your hands and eyes see more, not less. If he escalates, leave if you can. If you cannot, end it fast and leave anyway. The point is not to win a scene. The point is to keep your life. Field Manual. 12 ruthless but clean rules you can start using today. 1. Enter late. Leave early. The first impression matters less than the last frame on the close. 2. Name the downside before they do. It steals the oxygen of objections and makes you look like the only adult in the room. 3. Refuse free fights. If it does not advance your mission, it is bait. 4. When in doubt, default to no. No keeps doors closed until you decide which one deserves a key. 5. Trade up the chain. Spend your energy where leverage lives. 6. Document everything. Paper is memory with teeth. 7. Never punish honesty. Reward the truth, even when it hurts, so people bring you problems before they become fires. 8. Do not explain prices. State them and be silent. 9. Separate apology from adjustment. Apology is for harm. Adjustment is for policy. Do not mix them. 10. Make time visible. Deadlines turn fog into rails. 11. Build a replacement. Succession is the hallmark of real power. 12. Keep a private win list. Momentum is a drug. Dose yourself daily. The modern arena is digital. Attention is the tax base of power. Algorithms do not reward truth. They reward compulsion. Build strategically or be built upon. Publish signals, not secrets. Share finished thoughts, not fragile drafts. Use cadence like a drumbeat. Same day, same hours, same tone, same promise. Never feed outraged merchants with your blood. They grow on argument. They starve on indifference. Guard your face. Guard your name. Guard your access. Do interviews on your terms or not at all. Remember, if a platform can throttle you, it owns you. Diversify attention like you diversify investment. Build an email list. Build a direct line. Money is not the goal. Money is permission. Money buys time to think, space to train, and freedom to refuse. People who say money doesn't matter usually want yours to matter to them. Rules. Raise your income ceiling with skill. Protect your downside with reserves, and expand your upside with asymmetric bets. Stop renting identity with purchases that decay. Own assets that pay you while you sleep. Cash is a sword in a panic and a shield in a drought. Keep enough to breathe when the room fills with smoke. Discipline is the mother gear. that turns every other gear. Motivation is a guest. Discipline is a landlord. Build rituals so simple they survive bad days. Wake, water, walk, work before screens, before noise. Track what you want to grow. Lifts, leads, pages, calls, cash, study hours, calories slept and spent. When you fall, reset the smallest loop today. Do not wait for a perfect Monday. Perfection is a trap set by procrastination. Power without aim curdles into cruelty. Power with aim becomes stewardship. You will be accused of being manipulative simply for refusing to be manipulated. Wear the accusation lightly. The clean test is this. Does your move increase mutual value over time, or does it harvest and salt the earth? Play long games with long people. Withdraw from swamps. Forgive fast, remember longer, and never forget to lock the door you just exited. Recap, so it burns into memory. People are emotional, not rational. Weakness invites predation. Niceness without strength is camouflage for fear. Loyalty without reciprocity is slavery. Reputation is armor. Conflict is constant. Deception is a tool. Morality is a costume. Fear and reward are the levers. Trust is glass. Frames lead. Silence sells. All eyes are incentives. Power is maintenance. Act with clarity. Enforce with consequence. Protect your time like a king protects his heir. If this woke something cold and clean inside you, good. It means the part of you that was built for weight is finally standing up. Do not rush to debate the ideas with people who prefer the lullaby. Implement quietly. Let results argue for you. Subscribe, because the next chapters go deeper. How to neutralize smear campaigns. How to set traps without stepping in them. How to negotiate from empty pockets and still win. How to build a brand that pre-sells yes. Machiavelli is not a monster under the bed. He's the mirror that shows you the room as it is. You asked for a warning. You received a manual. Use it. Scenarios and scripts you can steal today. The race. I've taken A from 0 to 1 and B from 1 to 3. Here is the delta in revenue and risk removed. I want C by date D. If that doesn't work, tell me what result would make it automatic in the next review. Then stop talking. The smear. I don't comment on rumors. Here are my numbers. Here is my roadmap. Here is my calendar for anyone who needs direct time. Then ship something undeniable in 72 hours. The boundary. I don't take calls after 9. If it's urgent, text the word "red" and the reason. Otherwise, it lands tomorrow. Then follow your rule every time. The apology. You were right. I missed it. Here's what I changed so it won't repeat. Do not beg. Do not monologue. Fix and move. The breakup. We want different futures. I won't slow you down, and I won't be slowed. Be well. No paragraphs. No negotiations with ghosts. The offer. This is the scope, the price, the start date, and the result.